In overtime, in overdrive, Anthony Cirelli bursting down the ice. I love this part here.
Me.
Oh, well done, Ace. The stick right to the leg, glove on his skate. He goes right through it and then calmly buries it. Backhand. Tampa Bay takes down the Dallas Stars final 2-1 in overtime. We're back here. The Hanson brothers, Reggie Dunlop, Lee McHugh, Anson Carter, Henrik Lundqvist, Paul Bissonnette. NHL on TNT postgame show presented by Vanda Pharmaceuticals. We're hopefully going to talk to Brandon Hagel, who had a goal on the power play, which is something he has not had in a very long time. Might have gotten an assist on that last game, on that last goal. This was a game that we're watching, and we're saying Tampa has to win this, right? You're outplaying them. Ottinger's keeping his team in the game, and it felt like, Hank, this was one of those games. If you didn't get it at the end, you're going to sit there and look back on it.
Yeah, I was impressed throughout the game with their speed, their ability to get through the neutral zone, but also to create the big chances. And they really set the tone early in this game. They were all over Dallas, and it was more of a question, how long can Ottinger, hold this fort down? Because the opportunities just kept coming. But the speed, to me, was what stood out in this game. And, we talked about going into this game. How good is Tampa going to be this year? Are they a contender? I mean, watching this game, why not? No, I don't know if you feel it differently.
100%. No, this year's kind of unique because everyone's pushing early to get to play on those Olympic teams. And normally it takes veteran guys a little bit longer to get the engine going. But I'm with you, Hank. With Toronto losing Mitch Marner, I think they've taken a step back. With Florida Panthers having the injuries they've had, I think they're going to take a step back until everyone gets healthy again. Tampa Bay, especially watching the way they reacted to Florida in the preseason, I was like, oh, they got the dog back in them again. And I had them right there in the fight for this Atlantic Division.
Yeah, I would say probably top two in the Atlantic, and I agree with everything you said. Surprising to see the power play get off to such a slow start, considering they have built up this chemistry over time. They started 1-4-2, right? So I would imagine Crew probably sat them down. No panic mode, just, hey, we got another gear, and we got to find that. And now they've rattled off 4 in a row. So, as I mentioned, important to get that power play, the confidence back. They were peppering Dallas early.
Yeah.
Dallas very thin through the middle of the ice right now. No Matt Duchene. We talked about how impactful that second line was the last few years anyway. And Rupe Hintz. We know how he's able to take that puck to the neutral zone. So I really felt like you talk about that speed. It really showed on Tampa's side tonight where they overexposed Dallas in their weaknesses in the lineup.
Jamie Benn out as well for Dallas.
Right.
Yeah, another key component right down the middle. You look at Tampa Bay, and we talk about the fact that this is a championship core, right? Do you buy into this notion? I mean, Nancy, you brought it up, Hank, that it takes longer and you give a grace period maybe to these veteran teams and say, like, you know what, it's early. I mean, we use that phrase a lot, but we get excited about teams too, right?
Oh, yeah,
like,
no
it's
doubt.
early, but this team looks great.
No doubt.
Do you give a grace period more to a team like this and say, you know what, these guys are a little bit older?
Yeah, that's a very fine line, though, because you don't want to fall behind because you can get it going eventually. Then it might be too late. But you do have a lot of confidence in a group like Tampa Bay because they have so many players that know what it takes. But if you're the coach, you want to make sure they understand the importance of being ready for game one. But is it a different training camp when you have a ton of veteran guys and that excitement you feel during training camp might be different if you have a very young team. I do feel, thinking back throughout my career and the energy you feed off of young players versus old players they're at training camp to just prepare and get ready. When you have young players, they're at training camp to establish themselves, so they bring a totally different energy.
Oh, we are going to go back to the rink because we have Brandon Hagel. We were just talking about it. He joins us right now. Brandon, congratulations. We were talking about kind of the slow start that the team had, just 1 win over the first 7, now 4 straight wins. Was there ever a feeling from you or any of the guys where it's like, what is going on here? Like, we can't find the answer to this? Or is this a veteran team and you're like, oh, don't worry about it. In a week or two, we'll be right back there?
I think you're right with the veteran team. I think we knew we still kind of had it. I mean, obviously we brought back basically the exact same team. There's no way in 4 months we bring in one new guy and we're just not them anymore. I mean, we only got a year older, so there was always belief. But obviously had a little WWE in Florida, and then didn't get a few guys. Only one game there, so yeah, I think we're kind of finding getting back on track and kind of keep rolling.
Brandon, Hank here. I was really impressed with your speed tonight as a team. You were flying, especially in that first period, kind of set the tone for the entire game. Was that something you discussed going into this game, that you want to play a quicker game?
Yeah, I think so. I think what kind of got us struggling a little bit at the start, we were kind of pulling pucks back and just swinging, and then end up standing at the blue line. I think our D been doing an incredible job, is kind of just getting the puck right away, being able to forwards to keep their speed, and then yeah, we got a quick team. I mean, we got to use it to our advantage, and I think we did a good job at that tonight.
Hags, it's Ace, looking great. I'm sitting next to these two guys, handsome brothers, where they're not really that well groomed. First of all, I got to say, facial hair is on point. Second thing I want to say is it hard to just not think about the Olympics after the success that you had with Team Canada, 4 nations coming this regular season, and everyone want to get off to a good start to try to participate in February for Team Canada?
Yeah, obviously it's in the back of your head, but at the end of the day, if your team is going to have success, you're probably going to have success. So you just kind of come into the season and hopefully have your team in a good spot, and that usually means you're going to be in a good spot. So that's what I'm trying to do, is just help this team win. Obviously a little dicey at the start there, but I think we're kind of finding our way as a team and personally myself.
Hags, it's Biz here. I don't think you're going to get credit with an assist on that OT winner, but just a great job stripping the offensive player in the D zone who allowed Cirelli to skate into that one. But I want to go back to your power play goal. That's your first power play goal in 118 games. How are you still on the power play?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Biz, but I'm not too sure, honestly. That's probably why I'm sitting on the second unit for a bit here this year. But no, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Obviously, able to find the net 5-on-5, so that's a positive. But kind of embarrassing. I played 90% on the first unit with Nikita Kucherov last year and couldn't find one. So,
Hey,
it is what it is. He had 1,000 points, and I'm just grinding for a power play goal. But it is what it is, and obviously able to get it tonight. Maybe put myself in a better spot in the power play.
Liam said, hey, you're a heck of a decoy.
Listen, I don't think
Yeah,
everyone's
exactly.
brave enough to accept that role. And I commend you.
Yeah, the PK meeting. Leave Hagel on the left side. Go after Keith. All right.
You're welcome for the 1,000 points, Coach.
Yeah.
Great game tonight. Great game.
Brad, thanks so much,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
You're a
Thank
legend,
you.
buddy.
Thanks.
Yeah, congrats.
Appreciate it.
That was awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic. Listen, some other notes about him. We mentioned it, 35 goals last year, none on the power play, despite the fact they had 219 minutes on the power play. That's 5th most on his team. They had a very good power play, a top 5 power play. He had 11 assists. He's on the ice. You know it's going to happen, but there's got to be one of those, I think, where you're not losing confidence. You just can't believe that you haven't scored.
No, yeah, and he's an incredible player, and obviously he'll probably all of a sudden go on a PP heater streak now that we've mentioned it. But it just goes back to management in Tampa and how they were able to, like, asset management, right? They ended up getting him over from Chicago. I believe they gave up 2 first-rounders, but they had 2 years left on his deal. At a very cheap number. I believe in that second year he was making like $1.5 million, maybe $2 million. And they'd done it so many times in the past, with guys they brought over like Coleman when they ended up winning a Stanley Cup with him. They went to the finals with Hagel. They still haven't won it with him, but an unbelievable pickup. A guy like Nick Paul they got from Ottawa. So, you talk about how valuable some teams see these draft picks, but when you're able to flip them for actual players in the NHL who can make an impact right away, especially on these team-friendly deals, it's just a testament to the Tampa Bay management for finding a guy like that, and especially finding a guy that Chicago was even willing to part with.
Well, we talked earlier in the broadcast about guys in the bubble on the potential Olympic team, and you brought up the point, Biz, 100-some-odd games without scoring a power play goal. I think that's another strong reason why he should be on Team Canada, because not everyone's going to play on the power play.
Yeah. And
you need to have guys that can play 5-on-5 and play lower down your lineup and still be effective, Hank. And he's proven that he could do it. Biz, you talked about stripping the guy. That was Rantanen. That was Mikko Rantanen.
The guy who's strong on the puck.
The Moose, right?
Yes.
You saw Ethan Frank, he's out after running into his rear end last game. So that wasn't a small guy. He took the puck off of Hank. The guy's a bulldog out there on the puck.
Yeah, and I love the fact that he's so good 5-on-5. Sometimes you look at guys' numbers and you're like, wow, that's a lot of apples, a lot of goals. And half of them are on the power play, and they're playing with a stud that constantly set them up for great opportunities. Here you have a player that's kind of the opposite. Like, yeah, he's getting some looks on the power play, but really the production has come 5-on-5. And to me, that's more important because it is hard to score 5-on-5. And if you have a guy that's been that consistent over the last couple of years to score 5-on-5, that's just a great addition.
And another bubble guy, Cirelli just now, just using that left leg as a tree trunk, protecting that stick, protecting the puck, and showing those sweet, nasty mitts in tight biz.
And he's a two-way player.
And that's the key you just mentioned, Liam. And like people say, well, like last year, I think that Cirelli and Hagel were maybe like, you know, not head scratchers, but people are like, oh, well, why'd they lean towards them? Or maybe they could have went to other guys. Well, Coop's the head coach. He's going to be the head coach of the Olympic team, and he can trust putting those guys on the ice. Because if it's not getting done offensively, he can rely on those players to play on their own end, make plays like that, and then obviously Cirelli can have some finish as well. So it's a testament to that two-way game and why he does trust him in those situations.
And I think if we're going to sit here and say, you know, we can wait for Tampa to find their game and get back to it, and it looks like they've certainly found it, 4 straight wins, I think we could say the same for Jake Ottinger on the other side, right? Stumbled out of the gates. We were like, oh, how's it going to be? Because it obviously didn't end well last year. It was an ugly ending, both on and off the ice. Would it affect him? Look, maybe it did. Not anymore. I mean,
no, he came out with some huge saves, especially early on in this game where Tampa was just all over Dallas. But to me, it just felt like he was in control. It was a pretty challenging game because Tampa had a lot of different looks. It was wide open opportunities, a lot of east to west opportunities. But to me, when I look at goalies, yes, there was a couple of those scrambles saved, but for the most part, he was in very good control. And if there was another opportunity, he would have been there for that one as well. So to me, that just reads a confident goaltender that is playing his game right now. So good for Jake and good for Dallas right now.
And we're talking in the back about how well Tampa was playing, and they were only up 1-0. And then it was 1-1, and we're saying this is the kind of game that Dallas could steal.
Yep.
And it's all because of Jake Ottinger and net. It's a phrase we use all the time, give your team a chance to win. That's exactly what he did. I mean, and he was so calm and cool and collected. And that first save is the one sign that I saw him playing. I was like, this guy's on his game. Makes that first save. He's not out of position. Shoots out that left piston, makes a great save, and then the puck goes the other way.
And Hank did a great job of breaking down the video on him. You talk about him playing deep, which obviously means a goaltender playing closer to the goal line. Is it like bigger goalies that have the advantage who are able to do that, or can even smaller goalies play that tight to the?
I'm 6'1". I play deep. It allows you to read the situation more. You have more reaction time, but it also allows you to always keep the puck in front of you. Sometimes when you're too aggressive, you end up on the side because rebounds and east-to-west plays kind of ends up almost behind you. So when you play deep, the puck is always in front of you, and it allows you to play a more compact game. But it also forces you need to read shots, especially if you're 6'1". If you're Jake and you're 6'5", 6'6", you might get away with just a butterfly and rely on your size. But for shorter guys, it's not going to be enough just to go down and let the puck hit you. You need to read shots. But to me, it's a lot of it is about time. And if you're not as aggressive, you will just buy more time in terms of how you read when players coming down the wing and there's a shot and you get to that second, third opportunity. So time was everything to me when I played.
Hey, and when you enter the league, 6'1" was fine.
Yeah, it was,
I mean,
it was
Okay.
okay.
Goalie, 6'1's
Now.
a good goalie.
Yeah,
Then.
now.
Like, this guy, 6'1", he
Short
won't play
guy.
goalie?
They won't even look at you.
Yeah.
No.
Get it.
You're filling water bottles.
Anthony Cirelli with the winner in overtime. Tampa Bay, 4 straight wins. That's actually the longest active winning streak in the league right now. We're going to look around the league. Busy night in the NHL after this.
That was Alejandro Kirk of goaltending.